Hi, this is Craig again at the Montana Real Estate Channel. We are today in the Bitterroot Valley, actually, but this is where it started with regards to the Jesuits that came into Montana in the 1840s. And what we're going to do today is we're going to go up onto the Flathead Indian Reservation. The Salish were moved from this area and moved up into the reservation. And so we're going to take a look at St Ignatius and talk a little bit about price points, neighborhoods, and real estate on the Flathead Indian Reservation. If this is your first time to the Montana Real Estate Channel, you want to tap that logo at the lower right-hand corner of your screen and be notified of anytime we put a new video together in Western Montana about some of the communities here. Now, whether you're planning on maybe moving to Montana in 9 days, 90 days, 3 months, 3 years, we want to be a resource for you. We get emails, texts, and phone calls every day from folks just like yourself, and we absolutely love it. If you'd like to know all about Montana real estate and the markets, please call us, give us a text or an email. All the information you need is down below. So let's go up to St. Ignatius and take a look at some real estate. Here we are on the Flathead Indian Reservation, home of the Salish, splendor, and Kootenai tribes. And this is the southern end of the Flathead Indian Reservation, where there are wonderful opportunities in real estate in this area. Even though it's controlled by the tribe and it is a sovereign nation, the Flathead Indian Reservation comprises of a number of communities that we'll take a look at each one of them. And they start, of course, in the south end with Arley, then we'll see St. Ignatius, Ronan, Polson, and then that will pretty much wrap up. It is freehold interest property. You do have some rules there that are subject to, like, for example, fishing, hunting, and of course water. So we'll start with this each time we go into one of the communities on the reservation.
Travel north over Highway 93 into the Mission Valley. We're met with the Mission Mountains. These are it's a breathtaking sight, really is. And there's nearly 74,000 acres of paradise here for hiking, rock climbing, fishing, and more. This is an area of outstanding scenic beauty and really quite something to see. Into St. Ignatius, you've got these rugged snow-capped peaks. You have several small glaciers, alpine lakes, meadows, and clear cold streams up here in the Missions, popularly known as the American House. That we're going to see in St. Ignatius is a small subdivision of Horizon Heights. And houses were built here between 2018 and 2022. They're approximately 1,500 to 1,600 square foot, 3-bed, 2-bath. They sold between $415,000 and $535,000. St. Mary's Road, it's headed east toward the Mission Mountains. These tracts range from roughly 5 acres to over 40 acres. And most of them have Mission Creek running through the property, and these homes along this area range in size from 1,000 or so square feet with finished basements to 3,000 square feet or so. These were built anywhere between 1928 and then into the 2000s, and you can expect prices in this neighborhood to range anywhere from the mid 700s to over $1 million. And it's a wonderful area at the base of the Mission Mountains. You can see the Mission Mountains out in the background. And it's a quick shot into downtown St. Ignatius. In fact, on St. Mary's Road, which then turns into Mission Creek Road, there is a home there that's in town listed at just under $400,000. Are now on Foothill Road. The properties here tend to be larger. You know, they range anywhere from, say, 5-acre parcels on up to 160. And you can see it's just a beautiful view of the Mission Valley. And these homes that are in this area have been built anywhere from the late 1920s to to up to the present. And the views, as you can see, of the Mission Mountains are just terrific. And this is just a terrific area. The home here that we see over on Foothill Drive actually closed in February of 2024, and it closed at about $735,000. And it's that home that we see in our screen right now. But this is great agricultural ground out here. Wonderful irrigation. You can see it's really greening up out here. This area here is on Mission Creek, and the homes on the backside of this again have Mission Creek running through it. This is a little bit further east than where we were on St. Mary's Road. This is on Mission Creek Road, out near the base of the Mission Mountains. And there's a mix of private property here and some tribal ground. And you will have any variety of properties that are for sale. We just went past one. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go into town proper, into St. Ignatius. And St. Ignatius is a lot of the homes there are a bit older. Ignatius, or Mission as is sometimes referred to, is a town of approximately 800 people. And it sits at an elevation of approximately 2,900 feet, and it was essentially established with the founding of St. Ignatius Mission in 1854. This area right here that we're seeing is actually Mission Valley Power that provides a power for a good portion of the Mission Valley. And then what we'll do is we'll take a look at the main street of St. Ignatius, where we'll see a variety of businesses. Of course, we've got a grocery store and a number of other businesses that provide services to the folks there in the Mission Valley. This area is between Arlee and Ronan, so we want to have our services. We'll take a look at another portion of what we call downtown here in a minute. But right here is the home of the Bulldogs. The Mission Bulldogs here in St. Ignatius, and so this is the school. And then we're going to turn the corner and go back towards the main street of Mission. There's a few establishments just down here from the school, as we'll see as we come around the corner. So a small little town with some little shops here and there. And one of the highlights of St. Ignatius, of course, is the church at the St. Ignatius Church that was actually built in the 1890s. I believe it was 1891. And here is the church. It's just really a spectacular structure. And this was an offshoot of the Jesuits that came into the Bitterroot Valley, and you can learn a little bit about Father DeSmit, Father Valley, and the Bitterroot Valley, Stevensville particularly, that video that we have there. The St. Ignatius of Loyola Mission was originally established by Father DeSmit in 1845 near present-day Usk, Washington, but it was relocated to this location in 1854 as a continuation of that Jesuit missionary effort in the region. Now, the original church was actually lost to fire, and this particular structure, as I mentioned earlier, was built in 1891, and it features some 58 incredible murals, which were painted by a cook of the Brotherhood, who apparently didn't have any formal art training. But these murals really rival the murals of the Sistine Chapel, so they're quite something to see. So if you have the opportunity to get into the St. Ignatius area Mission, be sure to stop by the St. Ignatius Mission there in the town of St. Ignatius. Just down the street from the Mission is the Tribal Health, and this provides medical services in the St. Ignatius area. This is generally the location, I believe, of what was once St. Julian Hospital that was associated with the mission at one time. And I believe my father was born in this general area in 1920. Now we're going out into the countryside. This is over on Repass Trail, which is south and east of St. Ignatius, and you can see the Mission Mountains in the background. That this is absolutely agricultural ground, and the parcels here vary in size and also in ownership, and there are a number of properties here that, of course, are owned by the tribe, or held in trust by the federal government for the Flathead Nation. And there are a variety of homes out here, various sizes. A lot of these tracts, they could be 100 acres. There's a lot of 20-acre parcels. Up here, we'll see a home, kind of a log-sided home with log accents, etc. Right here, that is a 2,400 square foot home, 4-bed, 3-bath on 20 acres. That's listed for $745, and it's currently under contract. And then just behind this particular gate is a 4,300 square foot home on 40 acres, and it features 4 bedrooms and 4 baths, and it's listed for $1,190,000, and it also is currently under contract.
Here we are at McDonald Lake in the Mission Valley. We are just north and east of St. Ignatius, and McDonald Lake is a reservoir, but it's been dammed, and you can see the dam over here, and then it's got a spillway because this provides irrigation for the folks down in Mission Valley. And behind me at McDonald Lake is McDonald Peak, which is the highest peak in the Mission Mountains. It's a great place to come and recreate. We have bull trout and cutthroat. So here we are.
North of St. Ignatius is Nine Pipe Reservoir and Nine Pipe National Wildlife Refuge. And the refuge sits in the middle of a glacial terminal moraine, which was at the end of a glacial ice sheet that covered this entire valley at one time. And it lends itself to wetlands ideal for a variety of wildlife habitat. And occasionally a grizzly will saunter out of the missions there onto the Highway 93. This address is actually in Charlotte, Montana, but we have an early Montana history museum there at Nine Pipes. And the refuge is comprised of 2,000 acres and another 3,000 acres of wildlife management. The British Hudson's Bay Company established a trading post in 1846 just north of present-day St. Ignatius, and out in the background there you saw what is the sole surviving structure from that fort, which was built in 1847, channeled log, and is the oldest structure in Montana. The construction of this trading post escaped scrutiny when the 1846 Oregon Treaty established ownership of the land below the 49th parallel. And now you remember, most of western Montana was not part of the Louisiana Purchase. So the fort operated until 1871, and August McDonald took charge of the fort in 1847. And you've noted that the name McDonald is being used frequently in this area. We hope you've enjoyed this video of the Mission Valley and St. Ignatius. Remember to subscribe by tapping that logo down on the lower right-hand side of your screen. And we hope to see you again soon.